This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, it is Friday again. Seems like we were just here the other night and another week has passed, and it's time for the biggest waste of 2 hours you'll find on the internet. Well, maybe not the biggest. How's everybody doing this Friday? I see my good friend Tim JD is here. Another great video with his showing off his little shunter. GWR Buckley Junction, great to have you here. Ethan Armitage, nice to have you here. Hope you're well. Let's see, Sparky, Dave, hey, welcome in. Nice to have you pop in. And another longtime friend and big supporter of this channel, Tom Couples. Love to have you here. Kiwi Dave, speaking of longtime friends and supporters. We've got Curly, Dwight from the Curly Express. Nice to have you here. And there is Rick from Foltz Bailey. Nice to have you here. And Joseph Agliato. So welcome, my fellow Knights of the rhomboid table. EFO is here. So they're still repairing that damaged wiring. Okay. I don't want to, but I just want to, I don't want to start with a bit of negativity, but I just want to get this out of the way. Those of you that, again, know that back a few weeks ago, several weeks ago, a couple of months ago, we lost a longtime friend, YouTuber Chris Whittingham. And on Tuesday of this week, Tuesday morning, his wife Shirley passed. So both Chris and Shirley are gone. Those of you who were longtime followers of Chris's channel know Shirley was always a voice in the background, quite funny and witty in her own right. And with that amazing Scottish brogue of hers in the background. But she passed on Tuesday, so we want to, Joyce and I want to send out our sympathies, condolences to their daughter Carol and the extended family. It's tough to lose one parent in a year. To lose two in a 3-month period is just impossible to imagine. So anyhow, what's up today? I don't have a lot, but then do I ever have a lot? No. I did get one thing in the mail, thanks to my friend Randall Ellison. He hooked me onto this. I picked up a little American boxcar that's got the Beatles on it. There are others. I'm debating on whether I'll collect them all, and the only reason I'm debating is because these have a non-NEMS coupling box. It is, so there's no way, well, there's a way, but it would take a lot of work, and maybe not feasible work, to convert this to the type of couplings I have on my layout, because there's just no way I'm going to spend the money to convert all my couplings that I already have, because many of them are current conducting couplings and specialty couplings that I don't want to change out and try to go with the knuckle coupler here. I assume that's some kind of, I don't know if that's a Katie coupler. I don't know my coupling companies and styles. I think that's called a knuckle coupler. But anyhow, so I don't know. I really like them. If it's Beatles, I'm going to buy it because I'm a huge Beatle maniac, which is why I've got my Eurostar, and I've got a fleet of other freighters going. Did you? Well, if you could, Ifo, if you could link to me anyway, or I mean, I can Google it myself, obviously, but that's would be really cool if I could find a way to do it. I know you can cut things off, glue things in, but making sure it's the same, you know, where it's a swing motion, because it's kind of a cool car. It would look a little weird running on my layout, but I'm not technically prototypical, at least especially with my freight. So speaking of what I'm running today, I don't think I really have much else to babble about before I get to the trains. Joyce had the day off of work today, and we've had a very, you know, I guess it's more negativity. Joyce has a problematic student in her class, a student with severe issues. And he doesn't like being told no or to behave, and he basically printed on a sheet of paper, made a threat that he wanted to blow up the school and Mrs. Dodge. So of course this got reported, and the kid got suspended a couple of days. Well, they just had parent-teacher conferences, and the parents are divorced, and the mom and dad come in, they're like, oh, he's so responsible. He's such a good kid. I can't believe he would do this. And, can't believe, he knows to blah, 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 blah. And then the father says something that just had Joyce just drop dead on the spot. She says, he's so responsible. That's why I gave him his first handgun at age 8. This father gave a handgun to his son at the age of 8 years old. I'm sorry. We're not going to argue gun rights or not. No 8-year-old needs a handgun. You want to give him a hunting rifle and teach him how to shoot? Fine. Take the kid out hunting. No kid needs a handgun at the age of 8. And now this kid, and then the wife, who's divorced, says, well, you're keeping that locked up. And the father laughed and said, he's responsible. So a kid who's made a threat against my wife has access to a handgun that apparently is not locked up. Welcome to teaching in America and the United States and the stupidity of the parents we now deal with. So Joyce has been trying to kind of calm her nerves down with that knowledge that came out in the parent-teacher conferences last night. That was not a lot of fun. Anyhow, so who else came in? I don't see myself really getting into American style stuff. The only American train I would probably break down with Sparky is would be to get an Amtrak, and Maryland actually makes Amtraks. Every 2, 3, 4 years they release an Amtrak, and I'll probably pick one up, but I just don't see myself moving into American stock as we go along there. So anyhow, hey, Richard's here. Nice to have you. So that's the negativity. The positivity is I have been slowly working on the Fowler car system, but I haven't built anything new on the layout because I'm really having a debate about shaving the Fowler car stuff, the road track down, making it narrower to fit it in better. And do I want to just put those all on my table saw and rip them down much thinner? So I'm debating that, but also I have to make some specialty pieces, and then I will be, so hopefully next week I'll actually start physical work on it. I have to custom make, I ordered some more track because I have to make some custom pieces where I have to cut and splice pieces to fit, since I'm designing something that doesn't fit their little design pattern. So anyhow, let's go and look at the trains we're going to run today. Running today, we have from the bottom left of your screen to the back, we are running the Austrian Rail Jet with a Taurus Class 1116 locomotive. Then you see a Class 101 German locomotive in red. That's going to be pulling a Czech, which is blue and white there. That it'll be pulling a Czech EuroCity. We then have on line 3, I'm running the same freighter I ran last week, so that's the only train, well, that's one of 2 trains I left on. And then you can see staring back at you, it has not run on the layout in a long time. So we got the Beethoven locomotive out here. We've got the Beethoven locomotive out here. And I just want to mess with you a bit because this locomotive did this in real life. And but mine does it as well, so I have to turn this on, but so yeah, when it's in park mode, it plays Beethoven's Ode to Joy. And that high-pitched wail will get on mine. But it does that. So let's get everybody in action here. And then I will get back to the chat. And then we're running the Deutsche Bahn Regio in the background. So I'm running an Austrian Rail Jet and a Czech Rail Jet. And so let's get the last couple moving here. All right, and now we'll just go to the multi-view for now and see what's happening. The singing Taurus joke. Hey, Tim, how are you? Where does what title come from? Who, what? So it did an RC4. There's a... They also did an ICE3 as an Amtrak, which then ran here in the United States. And then there's other companies that do Amtrak as well, but I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I'm not going to suddenly convert to American stock and DC and have to make everything DC. You know, even if I bought, I couldn't even buy an American locomotive because converting it to 3-rail, as we're finding with a couple of 2-rail, DC-based locomotives, it's not always easy. The Rocos and the Picos, if you buy them in DC, they're easy to convert to AC because they also tend to make AC versions. So their bogies and that are preset to be converted. But some other companies, it's just not easy to convert them. Oh, today's title, well, that is from John Lennon's song, the Beatles song Across the Universe. Although, since I was doing Beatle lyrics, I probably should have done something from the album Revolver, since they've just re-released the newly remastered, fully remastered Revolver with special book and album and everything for... I am a huge Beatle maniac, but I've never bought... the only time I bought a remastered album was I bought the Abbey Road remaster, which was pretty cool. You got all kinds of Tims, and then you got the Steves, and then you got the Andys. I did see 156 Andrew and Kieran came in, and Mick is here. Hi, Mick, how are you? But yeah, that's, I was just showing off, Randall. I did pick one up from the guy. It's not the same. I really was hoping I'd find another Yellow Submarine like you had. He's got a Yellow Submarine, but it's like this one, where it's the album and then the album cover and then a picture from the movie. And I really like the one you had. There's also one that just has 4 portals where the Beatles are looking out as if they're in the Yellow Submarine. That also would be kind of cool. Is Fred in yet? No, we don't have a Fred. Well, I'm glad you do. I did, this is all my container wagons. I am hoping to get a couple of more container flat cars because I still have some other containers to go on, and I wouldn't mind making a nice long container freight car. I did put in an order from my German train shop. I will get it early next week. Hopefully Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. But nothing fancy. I just ordered some spare parts, some new parts, so I can start working more on the Fowler car system. And then just a bunch of little things. I ordered a ton of couplers so I could get rid of some of these ESU and El Cheapo Pico couplers. I got some Märklin couplers that I can start replacing more and just have more consistent coupling. But I was really thrilled I think it was 2017, Joyce and I saw the Mozart locomotive and heard it playing. We saw the Mozart because the thing is the models play the music, but the real locomotives do too. The actual locomotives will play all the ones that are the special paint schemes dedicated to famous composers. There's a Wagner, there's a Liszt, there's a Mozart, there's a Beethoven, there's a Brahms. I think I mentioned Wagner. And they play when they're at the stations and departing the stations. They pipe out a famous composition by that particular. So Beethoven's locomotive plays Ode to Joy. But yeah, so I'm trying to work myself into coming down here working on the layout. I also I've got to do some hand cleaning of some areas on the track as well. Fred's always in. There's a line there. But Joyce and I are going out of town for tomorrow. We're going down to Columbus. We've got some pieces of furniture to deliver to my son. And we're going to leave early in the morning. We're going down to Columbus. So I'm going to miss the Ohio State-Penn State game on TV. But they're at Penn State anyhow, so they won't be in Columbus. But there is a shop down in Columbus called Robbie's Hobbies. Robbie's Hobbies. And Robbie apparently is a decent-sized Märklin dealer, so we're going to go down there and shop at this hobby store and see what Märklin stuff he has before we go over to my son's. Hey, there's Edward. How are you? Hey, Eagle Creek Railroad is here. Welcome in. Nice to have you. That's not telling us. So I really want to get to work on the Fowler car. Part of the reason I've been hesitating is I've been debating, do I want to go ahead and extend, if I go to the Village View, you can kind of see where I laid it out. I'll pull the mic over here, except I can't set it on that track. I can set it on this track. As you can see, I'm extending it here. I'm going to come out here. I really want to come up here, but I've got the slope, so I really have to stop it here. And then the Delmenhorst City Hall, when I can finally build it, will go right here with the Market Square in front of it. And then I'm going to build the for lack of a better term, the high school. It's called the Gymnasium in Germany. I'm going to build the Gymnasium using Tinkercad because it's a relatively easy structure to build. And I'm going to build the Gymnasium, put it where that windmill is. I think you can see it over there. So the Gymnasium will go right about where that windmill is. And then this little farming community, which actually is called Hasbergen, that will stay there, and I will eventually green it up and put some related farm stuff in there. But that's Hasbergen. We'll have the Max Planck Gymnasium there. We'll have the town hall here, which actually is weird because technically speaking, the Max Planck Gymnasium would, if the town hall's here, Max Planck Gymnasium would be about where I'm sitting. So things won't be in proper location, but I just want to pop some of these buildings down as tributes to the city of Delmenhorst. And so you can see where I have to custom build some track over there. But I've had to make these decisions, and now that I've decided, yes, I'm going to do this, and yes, I'm going to do that, the rest is just go as I can. Hey, there's Leslie. How are you? Same as you can do with your Tesla. Meh. Indeed. And that's all it is. That's right, EFO. Although, as I have a personal bias against Elon Musk, I will never buy a Tesla. No matter how green Joyce and I are, I will not buy a Tesla. I will not give that man any money whatsoever. Not that he needs to worry about me supporting him, but the man's a scumbag. His father and grandfather profiteered off of apartheid in South Africa. But, so yeah, today we are running 2 rail jets. Let me see if I can get some of the quadrant view so you can see them a little better. But yeah, there you can see the Czech Rail Jet. It's not a full consist because I just can't get the other cars. I really need to find an old Roco set, but that's proving impossible right now. I mean, I do look occasionally, but I'd like to get the full 8-car set for a Czech Rail Jet. Pico is re-releasing the locomotive, the Railjet locomotive, but they're not releasing any cars right now. Yeah, it's just I had a lot of the pre-made stuff already when this is going to be a much simpler combination EFO. And so I actually do have a tool for pre-cutting, and that's been one of the debates. Do I want to just grab an 1/8 of an inch board and just pre-cut all the lines in it and fit it into place? And that's been an idea, but it's not hard for me to custom cut a couple of pieces. I mean, I had already done it and everything was working beautifully before. I just have to redo it because the alignments are different now. Let's see, let's go to multi-view again. Edward, in many countries, especially Germanic countries, high school or secondary school is called gymnasium. Let me re-explain that. Advanced college preparatory high school is called gymnasium. In Germany and other countries, there's 2 or 3, but in Germany there are, well, technically there's 4 now, but there's 3 basic types of high school. There's Hauptschule, Realschule, and Gymnasium. And in theory, it was supposed to be guys that are going to be blue-collar workers. You graduated after 9th grade, and you went straight into apprenticeship trainings. Hauptschule was going to be, or the second one, Realschule was going to be, Realschule was the lowest, Hauptschule was the middle. Hauptschule was for kids, you would graduate after 10th or 11th grade, although they don't really do graduation, but you could leave secondary school and go into some sort of, career training that was not construction, blue collar, factory worker, blah, electrician, plumber, blah, blah, blah. And then gymnasium was for the kids that were going to go in to get advanced degrees from university. And in theory, that's the way it was supposed to be. And then there's a fourth type of high school called the Gesamtschule, which basically has all three types of school mixed into it. Like there's a Gesamtschule in Bremen. But unfortunately, the theory was great, but the practice was that as more people come in and there's levels of social class, gymnasium kind of became sort of an upper class type of school, although plenty of kids from working class and poverty in Germany can get into gymnasiums as well. But there's definitely a lot of classism and racism that happens. Like all the immigrant kids go to get thrown into the Realschules and the lowest level and blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't necessarily live up to. The kids in gymnasium really look down their noses at kids at Hauptschule and Realschule. They really look down their noses. But in theory, that was the idea, was that, you know, the kids that are going to go into college and get advanced degrees would take one track of education. And originally you would start secondary school at 7th grade. Elementary school was kindergarten through 4th grade, and then you had 5th and 6th grade were called Orientierungsstufe, orientation level, where they basically evaluated you as to were you ready to go up to the level of high school you chose. Because originally you chose which level of high school, what track you were going to take after 4th grade. There was a big meeting between teachers, parents, and so on, and they would discuss what your strengths were, what your weaknesses were, and what your parents wanted you to do, what you wanted to do, and they would put you in one of those three tracks. But they would do 5th and 6th grade to see if maybe you were better suited on a different track. And that was relatively easy to go down from gymnasium, a little bit harder to go up to gymnasium. No, my containers a lot of them are made by Märklin, yes. Maybe most. But definitely I have some that were made by Busch, the German company Busch, B-U-S-C-H. Roco, Pico, I think at least one is Fowler. So it's a mixed bag. And actually one of them is made by a Portuguese company called PTT. And but like this one is a Fowler. I bought this at a shop in Germany, and it's a Fowler. There we go. Containers are the only thing standardized outside the NEM norms in model railways. Interesting. No, I do not have any X-rated figures on my layout yet. Someday. I have a joke scene which involves a drunk Santa and a bunch of drunken reindeer on one of my platforms. Santa was on vacation. He and the reindeer had taken some time off and were partying a little too hard and got kicked off a train. So I have a little joke scene on my layout where Santa and his reindeer are being held by the police, at least temporarily. Hey, Hey, Ewan, how are you? Welcome in. Glad to have you. Welcome to Friday Night Live. Friday Night Undead. I don't know which one works. But I'm looking forward to checking out another American shop that actually sells Märklin. I talked to the people on the phone, and they said they actually have a lot of modern Märklin, you know, era 5 and 6 stuff in their shop, as well as a lot of accessories. So I probably will buy something because my retirement check came, my retirement pay, not actually a check, I have direct deposit, came like really early. I'm supposed to get paid on the 1st of the month, and I got paid today. Yeah, they tend to be standardized, so I think they would. The standard 40, what is this, 40-foot container? They should work. Because I did buy an American version, because the companies are the same. Like, you can have Maersk containers on an American train. Hapag-Lloyd, Hamburg Süd. You see these even on American trains at times. Not too often, but often enough you do see them. I see them in the UK all the time. K-line. So yeah. See, do I have, are all the Portuguese ones out, or do I have one of the Portuguese ones nearby? Let's see. Hamburg Süd. Hamburg Süd is one of the Portuguese companies. MSC is one of the Portuguese companies. Is it up there somewhere and I'm not seeing it? What is the third one? It might be the Gray Maersk. Now that I think about it. But yeah, so the funny thing is I want more Hamburg Süd, and I can't find them in the orange. Or if I find them, they're really, really expensive. I don't know if Hamburg Süd has a higher licensing fee to use their whatever, but I go to Amazon, I go on eBay, and I try to find Hamburg Süd containers, and to get them in orange, they either are impossible to find or they're really expensive compared to the standard. I mean, this was €7 in Germany. Now this, I paid for it by itself, but it was €7 in Germany. And I think I said Fowler earlier. This was a Bush. This one was Bush. No, I was right the first time. This is Fowler. I'll get it right. This was a Fowler one. We just saw it at a little Märklin shop in the town of Kempten, and I said, what the heck, and bought it. Yeah, Yang Ming and Hapag-Lloyd, right. I have seen Hamburg Süd, or in German, Hamburg Süd. Süd. Dong Fang amuses you. Yeah, one containers are everywhere. I don't have a one container. I probably should eventually get one, but I really would like a nice row of Hamburg Süd. Don't ask me why. I just like Hamburg Süd. Now, when I was at the train show in Berea 4 weeks ago, last month, when we met Rick from Rick's Railroad and his wife Lisa, and Dave from Crooked River and Eastern Railroad, one guy had white ones. He had white Hamburg Süd, and those have to be an older era, because I have not seen white Hamburg Süd that I recall seeing in Germany. I've seen the reddish orange ones quite well all the time, and that's what I would like. I'd like 3 or 4 Hamburg Süd containers along with my Hapag-Lloyds, but there's 20, 40, 48, and isn't there 53-foot containers? Isn't there a 53-foot container? Hey, I mentioned Rick, and there he is. I didn't even have to do it 3 times. I mentioned it once. Exactly, Leslie. Yeah, once they're on a ship bound somewhere, you know, they're being shipped from China to San Francisco or San Diego or whatever. They get unloaded, they get stuck on a train, and they could be coming to the East Coast. And there's also 60 foot in the USA and Canada. See, I didn't know that. I knew 20, 40, 48, 53, and that was it. You're going first class to Dundee. Are you going to do a live stream from your train, Andrew? Yeah, now I see a lot of CSX containers in this area, and nowadays more Amazon, not a lot of Walmart. Like in the UK, I just see tons of Tesco. You see whole trains just Tesco, 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 Tesco. And then when they, and Randall and everybody else who knows their freight trains, when they have an oversized container like a 53, they stack the 53 on top of the 40. The longer one's on top, or your logic would say put the smaller one on top, but I guess the way the 53 is supported, it can't support the weight of a 40 on top of it. So they put the 53 on the 40, or the 48 on the 40, however that works. Yeah, I've seen a few ASDA, both, well, USA, Germany, and on UK videos. Yeah, they're top loads only, because I guess the way they're built, they don't weight support well, so they can't even be doubled. If you're going to double, you put the 53 on top and the 40 underneath. Now, I'm trying to remember, EFO, because Jean Ricard's not here, but you might know, isn't there a ban in Germany? You can't do double containers. You can't stack containers in Germany. Because I'm trying to think if I've ever seen 240 stacked on top of each other. But I've never seen it, but I think there might even be a law that you can't double stack containers in Germany. Or it's maybe I just never paid attention enough. Because again, I don't know. I'm just trying to remember 17 trips to Germany and all the train rides, and I don't remember ever seeing double stack containers. You see it in the USA, and you even see it in the UK, but I don't recall ever seeing it in Germany. Yeah, the height gets you too. Oh, I thought I've seen double stack containers in the UK. But yeah, you'll see double stacked in the USA. At least in some parts of the USA. I'm sure there are some areas because of tunnels or whatever where you can't do it, but I think the tunnels are pretty high. Okay, so you guys only have single level? Hey, John from Mystic, how are you? Now, in case you missed it, Joyce and I did post one more song video earlier this week. Apparently, I was in an 80s Brit pop, techno pop mood because we took a couple of famous 80s, early 80s new romantic, new wave post-punk songs and did parodies of them. Let me see. I know which one we did, but I want to see which one we did. Yeah, it was last weekend we did it, Saturday or Sunday. But we did, actually, a band I loved from Liverpool in the early 80s, Icicle Works. The Icicle Works. Technically, it's The Icicle Works. But we did, after doing the band Talk Talk, song called Talk Talk. So that was always a weird one. Talk Talk by the band Talk Talk. The song Talk Talk by the band Talk Talk. We did Whisper to a Scream by the Icicle Works. Although actually the song is called Birds Fly, and the subtitle is Whisper to a Scream. But almost everybody in America called the song Whisper to a Scream. That was a, is that Artie here? Artie's here. How are you? Now, Artie, I don't know if I will be on your live stream tomorrow because Joyce and I are going out of town. And I don't know when we'll be back. It'll probably be later in the evening. So I don't know that we'll be on because we're going down to visit my son and his fiance and take some furniture down to him because they just changed apartments and we've got a table they've wanted. So I don't think I'll be on the live stream tomorrow night. So your viewership should be up and happy. I can never get this straight. That looks a little better. No, I have not bought an RV, and we're not going to buy an RV in the foreseeable future. Joyce and I at times have joked that we'd like to drive the U.S. in a RV and just travel the United States when she retires, but that's not. The earliest she's going to retire is in 5 years. She's trying to talk herself into doing 9 more for insurance reasons, but I think with some of the insanity, she has to go 4 more years, 5 more years. The new retirement laws. See, that was the difference because I was like 4 years ahead of her in teaching. When they changed the retirement rules, I was in one of the areas that they grandfathered and said, you can still go out at this age and at this many years in, and she wasn't. So for her to get full retirement, she has to go to age 65. Even though she'll have 35 years. She can retire at 35 years, which is in 5 more years. She can retire at 35, but she wouldn't get full retirement. But she would still get a nice, hefty package. That I mean, if she could afford to. She could afford to retire now, but she has to go 35, which is only fair. I wound up going 36. Your desktop computer's dying. But right now, the cost of an RV just is prohibitive to us. At least if we want to still do what our bigger love is, which is overseas travel. We still like getting in the Charger and hitting the highway, and then we'll stay at a hotel. But we still... Overseas is our love. We, going to Germany and now the UK, although we have changed some things around. We've already booked our flights to Germany for next year. We really need to start booking our hostels. I mean, we don't need to, but the euro has fallen so badly that the dollar is now worth more than the euro. Although earlier this week, the euro went back above the dollar. Now it's fallen right back down again. But it's back to where it should have been, which is roughly equal. But we're looking at doing New Zealand and Australia in 2024, and then back to Germany in 2025, or maybe England. But Germany is my heart. I apologize to everybody. We can only travel one part of the world a year, and I don't like going more than 2 years without hitting Germany. It's my travel love. Germany and Central Europe. It's not just about the trains, guys. The trains were to bring some of that home with me, but I just love Central Europe. Everything from, I haven't been to Denmark yet, but Germany down, you know, the Netherlands, Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, and there's so many other places to go, but there's so many places in Germany we still want to go to. Hey, Clive, how are you? No, we will not move to Europe. 15 years ago, that was a small discussion. Once Joyce really fell in love with traveling in Germany, that, hey, when we retired, we've toyed with the idea of buying or renting a place in Germany that we could go to and use as our base and then just travel in Germany from there. But in the end, we're not going to move too far away from our kids. We've got one grandson. I'm sure other grandchildren will be on their way over the next few years. And there's just no way we're going to be that far away from the grandkids. You know, when we were young, when our children were young, you know, you had dreams that our kids would grow up and become famous this or famous that. Or, you know, my daughter Liz wanted to be a veterinarian and, like, work around the world, you know, doing international animal rescue and stuff like that. My other daughter wanted to move to the East Coast where she could work on graphic designs. And my son really was thinking of moving West Coast, but the older they got, the more they decided they liked being close to their parents and their family. We're, I guess you could say we never cut the umbilical cords because we're a very tight family. And so there's no way. Having Joyce away from home for a month is hard. She loves it, but when she comes back, she's like, you know, everything she missed. Well, I mean, if we were millionaires, we would move and bring our kids with us. To be honest, my son is only about 2.5 hours south of us, and that feels like forever. I know in the UK and other countries, that's no big deal, and it really, but he's in Columbus, and getting to Columbus from Toledo is a pain in the butt. The highways around Columbus are nuts. They're not nearly as nuts as Atlanta and some other cities, because Atlanta is just freaking insane. Chicago's kind of insane, but Atlanta's one of the worst. But Columbus is pretty bad. It is really hard to get around Columbus nowadays. 20, 25 years ago, it wasn't like that, but Columbus has almost doubled in size in the last 25 years, and the inner belt is just insane driving around Columbus. My son's been down there for a couple of years now, and I still could not memorize how to get to his place, because every time we went, there was different construction. We had to take a different highway and come around a different way. And now he's moved. Yeah, see, that's the difference, Ifo. 2.5 hours in many parts of Europe puts you in another country. But in the United States, you haven't even left your state. Now, in 15 minutes, I can be out of Ohio and into Michigan because I live right below the Michigan border. We live on the south end of Toledo, and Toledo borders Michigan. But to leave Ohio to the east is 3 hours to go past Cleveland. To leave Ohio to the west is about an hour, give or take. To leave Ohio by the south is about 4 hours if you don't stop. But I can never factor that because with Joyce, we always have to stop. Joyce has to stop every couple of hours. At 2 hours. No, not Columbus, South Carolina. Columbus, Ohio. The Columbus. Well, Ifo, when you're coming from where you come from, yes, Germany and France are huge. But Germany, France, and Spain would fit inside of the United States at least twice over. I mean, the U.S. state Montana is as big as Germany. Well, no, Western. California in territory size is equal to Germany. Just California. Germany, I think, would almost fit inside Texas. So Germany, France, and Spain would fill up maybe a third of the Western United States. It's a different perspective here. Yes, Rick, I am very much. If the weather's good, then I am going to that train show. And I'm still hoping I can go to a train show in the United States and somebody would recognize me. I don't know why I would expect that, because very few Americans watch my channel or know my channel. I would say half my subscribers are UK now, and about a quarter of my subscribers are Western Europe, and the other quarter is everywhere else in the world, from Australia and Eastern Europe and Canada and so forth. But I don't have a strong American following, and in all honesty, why would I? Because I run European trains, and Americans, I think, Germans and Americans really want to see layout building. Americans want to see layouts being worked on and trains running as you build your layout. Germans want to see trains running on layouts that are done, and then if you're building a layout, they'll tune in. But the top German channels are all about their layouts are done, they are museum quality layouts, and people are running their trains. The UK is a mixed bag. Like, there are people that, they're happy just to watch the people running trains. That's why you had people like Will at IC82 had 80,000 subscribers or whatever he had at his height. He almost got to 100,000. And he ran his trains on a wooden floor. Sam runs his trains on a carpet in an attic. So the UK is much more accepting of all different levels. And I know Americans are. I'm not trying to say Americans aren't. But in general, Americans want to see something being done. The Germans want to see it done. The Americans want to see it being done. And the the UK are all over the place. Yes, I love Albrecht Schaefer's YouTube channel too. He's awesome. And welcome in, Nick. How are you? Brits aren't odd. I mean, the funniest thing is, now we haven't been in many countries, but we've been in a few. And people are people, and there can be regional differences and regional biases. Even in the UK, we found a little bit of bias of the Southern Welsh against the Northern Welsh, and vice versa. In England, the Northerners versus the Southerners a bit. Liverpool versus Manchester, beyond the whole football bit. English versus Scots and Scots versus English. You see that, and you'll see that to a degree in America too. Well, we weren't there long enough to get the full bit. Because, Leslie, when we're over there, we're ignoring the negative people and meeting the nice people. When Joyce and I travel, Joyce and I like to think are nice people. And Joyce and I, some people can find it sickening, some people can find it annoying. Joyce and I treat every new experience like little kids. We are just happy to be here, and this is the coolest thing we've done in our lives. You know, like a 5-year-old gets a new toy. This is the greatest day of my life. We go to Cardiff and we eat a Matilda cake at Mrs. Potts Chocolate House, and it's such a this is the greatest day of our lives. And then we go up and see Carnarvon Castle. This is the greatest day of our lives. And then Alan drives us around North Wales. This is the greatest day of our lives. We experienced that. So we did pick up a little bit of the Southern Wales people go, oh, when you go to North Wales, they'll speak Welsh on purpose just so you can't understand them. They speak plenty good English, but as soon as you get up there, they won't speak English to you just because they're rude that way. So we did catch a little bit of that, but always in a joking manner. You know, in Germany, the Bavarians, everybody else in Germany hates the Bavarians. And the Bavarians don't give a crap. The Bavarians are like, we're Bavarians, we don't care. Oh, the Brits have their grimy diesels too. But, it was like everywhere we went in the UK, it was a new experience. And I think our enthusiasm rubs off on the people we're interacting with. You know, we go into a restaurant and the waiter or waitress might have had a long day, but we come in and we're just friendly, we're thrilled. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry if it took you a little longer to get to us. We're just happy to be here. What have you got? What do you recommend? Do you have a good food here? We're looking for this, we're looking for that. And Joyce and I are just friendly chatters. And we're also good tippers. So we always leave the wait staff in good modes. So yeah, we have a blast with it. And, I think if all the people that met us sat down and had a convention and sat down and compared notes, they would say the same thing. Those two people are crazy friendly, just happy to be just to be there. I forgot to turn that other train on. There are things in the UK that we liked, and of course Joyce did a video of the things she liked and things she found odd. She didn't want to say didn't like. For example, London was just too big a city. London just felt so claustrophobic. But we loved the neighborhood of London we stayed in near Whitechapel. And we enjoyed the sights that we wanted to see in London. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed the neighborhood we were in, a very mixed ethnic neighborhood. So you had Brazilian and Pakistani and English and Irish and everything all in our neighborhood. You just had an amazing mix of people in that neighborhood, and we loved it. And we enjoyed learning the subway system of London, the Tube. And the people at the Tube were so friendly and helpful to us. We never ran into a person that when we asked for help was rude or dismissive or, go away, don't bother me, or I'm busy, Everybody stopped and helped us. And even in Germany, some people will be, they're not rude. They're just, Germans are very reserved in many places. Parts of Germany, they're very friendly, especially like the Bavarians. Like, yeah, we'll help you. But parts of northern Germany, they can be very reserved. And I've had telltale conversations with many of my friends in Germany where they assume everybody in the world hates them still from World War II. They just assume that whenever they meet people from another country, it's like, you're here to enjoy our beautiful country, but you probably hate us because of Hitler and World War II and the Holocaust and blah, blah, blah. Everybody still hates us. They do have a little bit of, they don't want to come. But if you are around Germans more than a day or so, they're very nice, friendly people and very helpful as well. But the UK, again, maybe it's just how Joyce and I present ourselves, but we just thought that everywhere we were in the UK, Wales, England, and Scotland, we didn't make it to Northern Ireland and Ireland, which is something we would like to do. Just everybody was nice with us. And sure, you see the bad people. You see them down the street. You see evidence of it. In where we stayed in Edinburgh was a hard party neighborhood. Chris, the late Chris Whittingham, told us that people come into Edinburgh to get drunk or get laid. That people come to Edinburgh to get drunk and get laid. And to get into fights. That was the third part. To get drunk, get laid, and get into fights. It's one of those three, and sometimes all three. And there was a restaurant, literally a 10-second walk outside of our apartment. Well, the front door of the apartment complex we were in, where there was a fight one night and knocked over the planter boxes they had, and vases were shattered and all that. All right, Rick, take care. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Tim, we did. We enjoyed learning to ride the tubes and getting around that way. Yeah. We're tourists. If we had to live it and experience it every day, maybe not. But we enjoyed doing that way. But we've ridden subways and trams and everything in Germany for years. And it beats driving. It beats driving. It sounds like the average UK tourist in Amsterdam. Well, I wasn't going to go there. The UK soccer fans or football fans still have a bad reputation around the world. Well, there's that. Although, EFO, sadly, nothing will ever top me and Joyce and I with 15, we had 15 students that year in Berlin to see the Wall of Penises. And yes, you heard me correctly, the Wall of Penises. And no, I'm not talking some artistic statement. It was the Christos, the gay pride parade, and Berlin was packed, and the big gay pride parade was going on. And one of the main thoroughfares where it was, there was a park. There was a park. And I mean, everybody is shoulder to shoulder, and we're trying to walk from our bus stop to the hostel we're staying at in Berlin. And we're trying to push through the crowd with our luggage as the Pride Parade is going past. And there is this wall. It's a little park area, but there's this wall. And the wall is about 4 foot high, maybe 3 foot high. And literally, the entire wall, for dozens of meters, had a line of men, shoulder to shoulder, pissing on that wall. And, just to make it more fun, in front of them, on top of the wall, was an equal number of men pissing over the wall into the park. Yeah, that was quite the show. It was almost like a water show of penises. Nothing will ever top that. Not a couple of drunks peeing on a wall somewhere, what have you. The smell and the sight was knocked you backwards, especially for some of my very naive Americans who had never really experienced anything like this. They had never heard of a gay pride parade, much less seen one, and much less seen a giant parade. And they've probably seen brothers or uncles stop and take a piss on something. But yeah, this was ridiculously surreal. Yes, they do. There are mail trains. I don't have one, but they do send mail by trains. Mostly by truck, but yes, some mail does go by train. There are mail cars. Hey, Lindy, how are you? Yeah, I'm talking to Wallapina, so of course Lindy shows up with my grandson. Kai! Opa loves you! Hi, Kai! Hey, Kai! Opa! Or now he's calling me Bopa. He's added a B to it. I think he's joined the street gang The Bloods, where he has to add a B to everything, because I'm Bopa now. And Grandma is Oma Boma. I'm Bopa, and Grandma is Oma Boma. All right, Kiwi Dave, take care. Visit your mom. Yes, I have heard of the Great Train Robbery. Of course I have. Eagle Creek, I love the crimson, dark red rail trains. Several of my people I'm subscribed to, like Stuart at St. Mary's Church, he's got a gorgeous one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else has one. But several channels I watch, those are gorgeous. Leslie catches them. In fact, I think it was just his most recent video had one. Either that or it was the one before that. I love them. I think those are gorgeous. You know, that dark red. I've got plenty of bright red trains, and then I've got my really brick red and magenta rail jet here, which is quite stunning. But that crimson or blood red of the UK mail trains. I also like the network rail yellow trains. You see that in a rake. That's pretty wild. Stuart's got has two of those now. Andrew McDonald, I think, has one at March West Junction, TMD. I think he has one. Those are really sharp too. Yes, I've seen the Royal Train, and I've seen older versions of the Royal Train when I was at the York National Railway Museum, which was the first real railroad museum I've been to, and definitely was cool. And now I've seen a couple of people do other railway museums, and I'm like, those might be interesting to see. But I am a passenger train guy. I do have freight because I would have never, ever bought a freight train on my own. One Christmas, Joyce wanted to surprise me, so she bought me a freight locomotive and some freight cars because she knew I wasn't going to buy freight. And Joyce is so she wants to get me something I don't know is coming. She hates it when I give her a list and say, buy me these things. In fact, she just complained about it today as we were shopping for Christmas. I really hate when you just tell me to go on your website and buy this for the discount. You know you're getting it. Like, yeah, I know I'm getting it, and I'm going to love it. But Joyce wants to surprise you. Joyce wants to get you something you don't know that's coming, and then wants you to love it. That hasn't always worked out. I've done that a couple of times where she is in a store and says, oh, I could really use one of these. And I take a note, and early in our marriage, I bought it for her for like birthday or Mother's Day, and she just glared at it going, why on earth did you buy me this? Well, you were in the store a month ago and said you really wanted a fancy cake platter. So I thought, no. Birthdays and Christmas are for other things. But she hates when I just give her the list and say, this is what I want, buy me these things. She always has the kids give her a big list, and then she'll pick. They know they're going to get something on that list, but they don't know what. They know they're going to get some things, but not everything. Although, sometimes they do get everything. But, yeah, it's crazy. Joyce just has to surprise you. And so she was talking about that today. Why do I have to? You know you're going to get it, and then I wrap it up, and then you unwrap it, and you already know what it is. Yeah, I do. and it's exactly what I wanted. And the fun part was making me wait till Christmas to get it. You know, I see this as all win. She doesn't. The new nickname of the HST is the Flying Tomato. There you go. Hey, Steve Childers is here. How are you, Steve? And George, you have one, right? Indeed, Leslie, I agree. Those red and white, what are those, old Virgin locomotives or power, steering wagon, Steuerwagen as we call them in German. It's not quite the same. I agree. It looks a little weird. You have all that yellow and then that weird white and red. Looks like old Virgin or something like that. Old LNER bits. Does the Flying Tomato go well with the Flying Hamburger? Well, if you can find a Flying Hamburger. Well, that's great, Steve. I'm just happy and surprised anybody shows up to my streams. Granted, more people are starting to realize that because fewer people are showing up. But, hey, I do my thing. And I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to beg money. I'm not here to show anybody anything. I'm just here to run my trains. And if people want to come and chat, they can chat with each other or with me. You have a Flying Thomas loco. My grandson has a Flying Thomas loco, but it's only flying because he throws it. And yes, my daughter did buy him. He's got some Thomas the Tank engines. In fact, we went out to lunch. Joyce was off work today. They had conferences. And it used to be we would do conferences Thursday and Friday. The kids would be off school and we would do Thursday and Friday. But parents would complain that, well, I'm at work during the day, so could you do them in the evening? So the deal is we will work and do conferences in the evening, and then I say we even though I'm not a teacher anymore, would get Friday off. So Joyce had today off, and this has been a tradition of hers for years, is that she would go out to eat with the daughters. But since I'm home now, and because high school didn't do those conferences, so I would be working on Friday. So she would be home and she would go out with her daughters, or my son when he lived in town. She would go out with whoever was available. And so today it was my two daughters, my grandson, and me, and we went out to a diner just in the neighborhood here. Went to a diner and had lunch. And he brought, Lindy, if you're there, which one was it? Was it Henry? I forget which one he brought. He brought one of his Thomas trains. The Henschel Wegmann is way more impressive, as that speed record for a steam locomotive isn't even beaten by an ICE yet. Huh, I never heard of the Henschel Wegmann. I thought the Mallard held the steam speed record. Gordon. It was Gordon. That's right. It was Gordon. See, I know Thomas, and then I know a couple of the names, but otherwise I really don't know much about Thomas the Tank Engine. Even watching all the UK channels and seeing different channels that talk about it, even Will and Sam will show off, and some other channels will show off. And I know George does the George here, White Wall Wheels, Hardcore MOH. He does a lot, but I just don't learn. I know Thomas, and that's about it. The Berlin to Dresden speed record. In time, not absolute speed. Gotcha. Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe, why did they let the steamer get that fast? But, I don't know, maybe it's traffic regulations now. I'm sure the ICE would go faster. I'm sure the ICE would go faster, but it's probably limited now. You know, it's like the Autobahn. Everybody knows the Autobahn, that you can drive unlimited speed, but half the Autobahn does have speed limits on it. Back in the day it didn't, but nowadays it does. You do have to slow down in areas. So I wonder if that's the case, EFO. Is maybe, because I'm sure the ICE could go faster. But maybe the new modern electric trains are limited and not allowed to go as fast. Because obviously I've been on ICEs that can go 280 kilometers an hour, but they're going 180, 190 because that's the only speed that's the fastest speed they're allowed to go. But the funny thing is, we talk about the electric trains and even the steamers with speed. Aren't there some diesels that really can crank it up and get going pretty fast? Or I certainly have seen some diesels in the U.S., sometimes 5 or 6 in a consist, cranking out some speed and power. The Renfe is a hybrid? Okay. The UK HST still holds the world speed record for a diesel loco and train. Okay. Ah, yeah, that one. Yeah, because Leslie was showing some of the film where they had a derailment at Carlisle that has caused a little bit of consternation there. Should get that Beethoven one. Just staring at you as it goes by. That creepy locomotive. There it comes. It stares at you from one side. Now it stares at you from the other going past. Oh, that's kind of cool. I always like that shot where a bunch of trains come together. I think it soothes my ADD. See, sometimes I'm curious as to which camera view do people like the best. In the end, I really think the multi-view, I mean, I like the multi-view because I'll watch the multi-view even when I'm running trains by myself because it's lots of action for my ADD. I can just, it helps me. And, just catching sight of everything going. But there are definitely some views I don't show enough of. There we go. There's the Mallard with its little Gressly teat coaches. Oh, it's got a piece of dust on it. Ooh. Have to clean that up before somebody yells at me about that. But there are definitely some views I don't stare at enough that I should do. I like the station view because it's one of the more realistic's probably the wrong word. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk about today. For some reason, I think this view, I mean, it's a really good camera. This is a El Cheapo 4K camera, but the colors are nice and vibrant. It's nice and light. The colors come out vibrant, but it's an El Cheapo 4K that I have set to 1080. I always think that gives, that's kind of a nice view. Lots of track. Well, yeah, I can't see how the bus wouldn't have been a write-off in that case. Ugh, I don't even want to see the picture because I'm glad nobody was hurt. They obviously got off the bus, or maybe the bus was off service at the time, but those kind of things are just cringeworthy because unfortunately, in my time in Toledo, I've had friends, or I shouldn't say friends, people I knew hit by trains and killed. Kids from school, kids from the neighborhood. If I get the Mallard going fast enough, the dust might blow away. Now, that's probably on the wheel axle. Don't know why there's a big, long string of dust there, but there is. But there's that Beethoven just staring at you creepy. But sometimes going with the fewer cameras and the larger views lets you see the trains more completely, I'm sure. I just wish I had better lighting in that one here on the bottom left. But yeah, last Sunday, every Sunday, Joyce and I have, it's tradition. The family comes over for Sunday dinner. It's something her family always did, that when the kids moved out, you still came, everybody that could. You didn't have to, but everybody tried to come over for Sunday dinner. So my one daughter lives here, and then my oldest daughter, my older daughter, my oldest child, but older daughter, her husband, my son-in-law, and Kyan, they come over for Sunday dinner. Well, I don't know if it was kismet. I was feeling just a little down about some things on Sunday. And and I had just commented on one of Alan's videos, Alan Wiles at Dragon Junction. And out of the blue, he calls me about 5 o'clock my time. So, you know, it was like 10 p.m. his time on Sunday. And he wants to chat about, and I probably was interrupting him too much, but he wanted to chat a bit about the train show, the Getz, the Great Electric Train Show he had been to, and Peter Dix and all that. And it was just perfect because he was laughing and talking about how crazy it was. And I was having a good time, and I really could have talked to him for an hour. But about 5:20, my daughter and her family came in, and Kyan comes in the door. And as soon as Kyan comes in the door, it's, "Where's Opa?" And I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone talking to Alan Wiles, and Kyan comes in, and I've got my laptop computer on my lap, and I'm talking on the phone, and he tries to close my laptop computer because when Kyan's here, "No, Opa, computer off." And he's trying to close it, and he's trying to grab my hand, and I'm like, "Hang on, Kyan, I'm talking on the phone, Oh my goodness. Boom, the tears, and oh, buddy! He's still trying to grab the phone. I'm like, no, I'm talking. I'm trying to listen to Alan, and he's really upset because, and then he finally goes off into the kitchen. And he is just so heartbroken because Opa did not come immediately, and so I had to get off that phone call with Alan. But it was a great phone call. Wish it could have lasted longer, but you know, when Kyan is with Opa, Kyan wants Opa with Kyan. You know, Opa cannot be doing anything else. He has to be with Kyan. Oh, there's that one too. Yeah, Amtrak I've already told those stories too many times. Although they're a story that kind of makes me proud too. Because my son, and his friend did not want to, they were going to a concert in Chicago. This was, this was 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I forget how long ago. It feels like it was longer ago than it really was. So maybe it was 6, 7 years ago. They wanted to go to a concert in Chicago, but neither one wanted to drive. They didn't want to drive and try to park in Chicago. Parking was expensive. Even the hotel parking was expensive. And so they decided to take a train. They were going to take a train to Chicago. My son was like, "I've ridden trains 8, 9, 10 times in Germany. I know how it works. We're just going to take the train and go." And so he and his friend went down there. They bought their tickets. They booked it up. And, of course, the train was late. But the great part of the story was all these people were freaking out. Some of these people were riding trains for the first time, and they were also going to the concert and taking the train, whatever. And my son, just after years of traveling with me and dealing with sometimes a late train, sometimes, he just knew what to do. He knew who to go to talk to, get the information. He went to all the other people being frustrated and talked to them and said, "Here's what's going on, and here's how it works," and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, that was one of my proudest moments, just because all those years of taking him to Germany, he had learned the train system, and enough of it applied to America that he wound up becoming the source of information for all these people waiting at the Amtrak station here in Toledo. Instead of going to the Amtrak workers, the rail workers, they were going up to my son. She's even home from work and she's late coming down. Woman, I tell you. Our buddy Jean Ricard's not here today. Thomas trains with the moving eyes are creepy. Indeed. I think, even with the smile, that the faces on many of the Thomas the Tank Engine characters make them look a little creepy and sinister anyhow. But with the moving eyes, yeah, that's nightmare material. Great question. I think the one I have, I want to say it was the Karlsruhe, and I know, having said that, it's the Wittenberger. I'll have to look it up. Is it the Karlsruhe or the Wittenberger? That's a good question. I wish I were that savvy. My brain says the Karlsruhe, which means the way my luck works on these things, it's probably the Wittenberger, because my brain says Karlsruhe. Where is it that I can go check real quick? Because now the thing is, I did not buy the ESU one. I have the Roco. So how long ago did I buy it? I don't know if I could look it up. Because I didn't buy the ESU because the Roco was cheaper. The Roco was like 40 euros cheaper. So I bought the ESU cars, but the Roco Steuerwagen. So that's why I'm not sure of the ESU. All right, Kieran, take care. It's nice to see you, man. You still didn't answer my one question, Kieran. Or maybe you did and I forgot the answer already. So was the ESU one, I don't know, maybe I can Google it real fast. Odell Bond Shop Lipa manufacturer. We're looking at ESU. Come on, computer. Let's go. Or Lipa. Cab control cars. There we go. All right, EFO, the ESU is a 483.1, if that means anything to you. I'm not getting the specific word for it. It's not saying whether that, I don't know if that's Wittenberg or Karlsruhe, but it's a 483 one. And then my Roco is a 482 one. So the ESU is a 483, and the ESU is a 483 one, and my Roco is a 482 one. I don't know if that means anything to you, or I'm totally just not understanding the question, but I thought I did. Yeah, and if it's lit, well, I don't know. If I can get longer passenger cars, like from Roco or Pico, I can get them $40 to $60 if they're not lit. The minute they're lights, it's $80, $90, or even $100. Athern just announced their coming lineup. Because, yeah, Miraklin had a very small Christmas release. Their fall catalog was also rather small. Nothing to excite me. Even Pico's was a lot smaller than I'm used to, and I'm sure that's because of all the issues they're having. They're reducing production lines because, like with Pico, so much of their stuff is from China. Now, Ifo, when you say larger, are you talking something that's more 187 scale or just the longer general cars like the Silberlingas and that? The Christmas commercial video, if that's the one you're referring to, Randall, yeah, I liked it. It's not quite as powerful as the one Miraklin put out in 2018, which is still one of the most brilliant model train commercials. You didn't need a word spoken in it. It was all visual, and Miraklin has been putting out some great commercials. Hornby tried to put out a really interesting Christmas commercial a couple of years ago. But Miraklin, the last couple of years haven't been great commercials, anything to write home about. But the one they released this year is really good. It's a little, if you're prone to emotion, it can be a tearjerker because it involves Grandpa has died. You know, the whole start of that is Dad is in his father's house. The dad is in his father's house. Dad has died. Dad's old layout stuff is there. His old train stuff is there. And the dad just leaves it there, but the granddaughter goes back and grabs part of the layout and some of the locomotives, and without Dad knowing, she fixes it up, cleans it up, and Dad comes in for Christmas, and there's his dad's layout and a couple of his old classic Miraklin trains there running, along with a new set the girl ran. It is very touching. It's a very cute commercial. The only thing is there's a scene where the girl breaks her piggy bank to go buy a Miraklin startup set. You're not breaking a piggy bank with a few coins and bills. That, you know, that's still going to be a couple of $100. Anyhow, we have a special guest here who's still on her phone.
Hi, JJ. Are you on?
Still a little bit of a Batman. There we go. There we go. Now you're not looking nearly as stressed as you looked last week.
Well, yeah. Yes, I've had a much more relaxed day.
I did tell your story, though.
Oh, about my...
About the kid who threatened you, and then
Okay.
for his 8th birthday, Dad bought him a handgun.
Yeah, it's a little scary. So, yeah.
I'll turn it that way. That way
Oh,
we can...
okay, that's good. So, hi, Artie. Hi, Tom. Hi, Randall. Hi, Mick. Hi, everybody else. Oh, my goodness. Let's hit that like button, y'all.
Hey, Derek, how are you?
Hi, Edward.
Indeed.
Edward! If I want to do back.
Say hi to Kai real quick.
Hi, Kyan. Oma loves you. Ah.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
John.
Thanks for stopping in for a bit. Appreciate that. They've,
I assume you got to go get Daddy.
well, that's probably why she's saying
Yeah,
Yeah.
real quick. Yeah.
say quick. Joseph says hi.
Hi, Joseph. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenging year, but we will make it. It's another one, you know. It's how they roll. They've changed the layout a little bit.
Yeah. YouTube has changed their channel layout a bit. Yeah.
How many people are in? You can't see that.
So yeah, we are going down to Columbus tomorrow. And we're going to
Yep.
stop off at a train shop.
Right. Yeah, AJ just texted me and asked if we wanted to do lunch together.
Oh.
And I said, I figured we would do a light lunch, and then, because we're not going to get there till 1 or 2.
Right.
And then we'll do an early dinner before we go.
Sounds like a plan.
That's pretty much
We
what
just need addresses.
pretty much what he said. I have his address. I think we should get the train store is
Yeah.
where we should
Right.
head to, and then we'll go from there to AJ's house.
Hello, Randall. Hope you ate well. I assume that was hope you are well, but hope you ate well too.
Oh, holy cow, that can't be good, Artie. I don't know. These kids are just crazy.
Yeah, well, you didn't see,
Bad
but
boy,
I
bad
did.
boy.
Bowser had a lockdown today.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
And it's just becoming nuts.
Yeah, it really is. What's the theme today?
Did I see Wigwag is here? Hey, Wigwag is here.
Ah, wig.
Well, somebody said hi, Wigwag, and I didn't see. I might have daydreamed and missed them. Was it Tom Randall?
Was I distracted or whatever? Yeah. So seriously, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button.
Yeah, only 12 likes today.
Yeah, like, what is Anthony doing? Y'all don't like him?
Yeah, I've capped off. I'm now falling away into the abyss of obscurity on YouTube.
I really don't know. I think it ebbs and flows, doesn't
You know, a couple of months ago we'd get 30. 2 years ago we'd get 35, 40. I gotta change it up, or just be me and
Yeah, people will come back in, probably.
maybe. Doubt it.
I don't know. They're definitely different people.
Hey, there's Christopher.
Two
How you
Sonic
doing,
cheeseburgers.
Christopher?
Well, when you have weird hours, that kind of makes sense.
The Breakfast of Champions, 2 Sonic cheeseburgers.
In college, it was a Diet Coke and a Snickers for those 8 o'clock classes.
Oh yeah, for your early classes, right? I always ate a good breakfast. I always ate a good breakfast.
Oh man, Artie, that is sad. This two association's drug sale. Oh man, yeah, it's not just us, is it?
So EFO, was it a good thing or a bad thing they ended after you graduated?
Yeah, it's a tough job for sure. Rail workers.
Me, I respect all workers.
Now there's that too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely some jobs that are harder than others, but the other chemical kinds, gotcha.
Okay. Canada.
So a little acid and heroin and what have you.
Oh, the harder stuff.
Meth and
That's that guy.
mescaline.
We just sent these to people.
Yeah. People were nominated. And so he
Gotcha.
sent them to the people nominated.
So you're a good guy, I see.
Apparently to some, ecstasy pills.
Ooh, yikes.
Yikes, indeed. See, you say ecstasy, I think of the 80s British pop band.
Yeah.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses looking over time. Could that be a train song? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rail lines working overtime. No.
Yeah, I'm tired though. You know, I did two 12-hour days.
Dutch party fuel.
Besides truckloads of beer.
I've never taken
Don't do
an
it.
illegal
Don't do
drug
it
in my
together.
life. I've never even smoked weed. I've never smoked a regular cigarette either. I haven't smoked anything, rubbed anything, dropped anything, snorted anything. Beer, I guess when I was 17 and drinking beer and the drinking age was 18, that was illegal, but the beer was legal. I wasn't. I just grew up where I saw what happened to people who
Speaking
did
of
drugs. and it was
drugs,
easy to say
cinnamon
no.
curly fries.
Speaking of drugs, cinnamon curly fries. Ooh, cinnamon curly fries? Oh, that sounds nasty. Cinnamon and fries? That doesn't sound like a winner to me. If you love them, great, but doesn't sound like a winner to me. Mayonnaise or ketchup, that's what goes on fries. Sometimes you can do ranch dressing, I suppose. I like cheesy fries.
I like cheeseburgers too. Well, supersonic cheeseburgers could be pretty good sized burgers.
Yeah, if you're gonna call yourself supersonic, you better have
What do there? Quarter pounders.
one of the best burgers used to be a local restaurant in Toledo. It was called Howland House, and the burger was called the Moron Burger because you were a moron to finish the thing.
I think it was a pound, wasn't it?
It was huge. It was huge. It originally started as one giant patty, massive patty, and then it turned into it was like 8 small patties.
Easier to cook.
But see, my problem is I still look at burgers and just big juicy burgers, and now I look at them and go, that's too much for me to eat in one take.
Yeah.
My favorite burgers are the greasy dive burgers. The unhealthier, the better. There's a place in Toledo called Rudy's, and Rudy's makes amazing double cheeseburgers.
It's a local chili dog place.
It's a local chili dog, Greek chili dog place, but man, they make great burgers, but they're pure grease burgers, fried and heavy melted cheese where you want to eat it off the paper. Nobody does that anymore, but Rudy still does, and I still eat the cheese off the paper. And it's so unhealthy, but it's so good. And I used to eat 2, sometimes 3 of those. Now I limit myself to 1. Shake Shack. Don't think I've heard of Shake Shack, or we definitely don't have them around
We
here.
don't have them here. I maybe have heard of them.
Steak and Shake here in Toledo used to be, now Steak and Shake is a chain, but their steak burgers were really, really good. And my son worked there for a few years while he was in high school and college. And the one he worked at got nailed for health code violations. And it killed them in Toledo. I don't know. I think their business has died off elsewhere. But the problem is they were open 24 hours. So they could never shut the grills down to clean them. And so the health inspectors came in and they're finally like, you've got stuff here that needs cleaned. Well, we can't shut the stuff down to clean. And so they got nailed with health code violations.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden people stopped going there and the quality of their food went down.
Well, they stopped going there after the quality went down, and it was so dirty, and people just were slightly horrified to quit going. Before that, man, it did crazy business.
I don't eat Taco Bell. Hey, Mark from Donegal Dad Rail is here. Hi, Mark.
Donegal Dad.
Oh, that's right. I got paid. I want to buy one of his hoodies. He's got really cool looking hoodies, and they go to support his railway. They're really big, fleecy ones. It's from Teesprings, just like my place.
Okay.
So I'm going to buy one.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, before I look, what all... Do you only have the white one? Because you wear a red one. Do you have white one? Because white gets dirty. I'd love a red one. So does your Teespring stores have red? Because I've got gray hoodie, black hoodie.
What color do you need?
Well, I want the red one. Because the white one is white. And, well,
red makes sense. Because
white gets dirty.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's fine. You should support each other, you know.
But see, Artie,
Yeah.
I won't have that hamburger with the lot. I do not want egg on my burger. I do not want bacon on my burger. And I sure as hell don't want pineapple on my burger.
Yeah. Anthony did a burger challenge with
With a friend.
a friend, and the friend piled a lot of crap on his, and Anthony just put ketchup on it.
My burger is very simple. I want the meat,
Obviously, Anthony won.
and I want the
Or
cheese.
lost.
I want the meat, the cheese, and sometimes there can be multiple cheeses because I will put any cheeses on a burger. And sometimes I will mix them. 3 different cheeses. And then ketchup and mustard or mayonnaise. That's it. Nothing else. I don't eat rabbit food on my burger. I don't want fruits and tangy sauces. I want ketchup and mustard or mayonnaise and cheese. And then hopefully it's a good bun. Whether it's a brioche bun or a really good fresh bun. I don't want anything else on my burger. Even when I make steak, we add just a minimal amount of seasoning. I horrified Joyce's family recently when we all went out to eat, and I talked about when I make steak, I don't marinate it in anything. I don't, because I want to taste the meat. I don't want to taste all the other stuff. I want to taste the meat. I'm a carnivore. I like the taste of the steak, and then just accent it a little bit. Everybody else is throwing 10 tons of seasoning on. You don't taste the steak anymore. That's how I feel, Mick. My burgers are simple. I am a simple eater. I don't eat fancy foods. I don't want...
No, he doesn't.
I don't eat a lot of foods. I basically eat cow. And that's it. Cow and turkey.
Yeah, they could have definitely done better at Steak and Shake. Happy. It's just they really didn't have a lot of down times. They really had fairly steady, and they would close sections to clean them and things like that.
Oh, God.
But then after the bars closed, they would get tons of people in.
A brodzie
Then you get the
kapsalon.
early breakfast people.
A
and they were
brodzie,
just constantly busy.
kapsalon. Every ingredient available in a kebab takeaway poured onto a tray. Yikes.
Oh.
When I was a kid, I ate
Big
peanut butter on
calories.
hamburgers. And seemed to like it, but now it sounds
Oh,
no.
That's horrible.
No, see, the problem is, Derek, I don't like bacon. I don't like ham.
That's a pig.
I am a carnivore, but I'm a very limited carnivore. I am a cow eater and a turkey eater. Occasionally fish and chicken. But the fish has to be deep fried white fish.
We'll have a chicken meal, and I'll go, is it good? And he says it was chicken.
Yeah, Joyce loves chicken, so she makes a lot of
It's
chicken
healthier.
meals. And for the 35 years of our marriage, she'll cook a chicken meal, including things like chicken parmesan, because I love veal parmesan. and she puts a lot of effort into it. And she'll ask, was it good? And I have to look at her and go, it was chicken. I ate it. Consider that a compliment.
Yeah.
That's the best compliment you're going to get.
What
I
can
do
I
not
do?
like chicken. I love turkey, but I don't like chicken. And I don't like ham, and I don't like bacon. I will eat pork and pork sausage and bratwurst. But other than that, I don't like pork.
Nobody wants to know what you eat.
Salami, too. I eat salami. Everybody wants to know what?
Nobody wants to know what you eat.
Well, if I'm going to visit people,
Well, there's that.
they have to know ahead of time
I don't
because
know.
I'm not going to try stuff.
Alan's wife just gave you a cheese sandwich. And he was happy. Iraqi.
An Iraqi
Kofti?
kof. Yeah,
It's an Iraqi kofti. I don't know what kofti is.
I love turkey.
Deer.
Thanksgiving and Christmas are my favorite
Elk
meals
type thing?
because we make a full roasted turkey and Joyce makes them and keeps the meat juicy enough. And then all the
I
trappings.
have my secrets.
Now see, do you like pulled pork? The key word there, pork. I don't like pork.
I do.
Joyce does.
Yeah. And
But I
no,
do
not
eat sausages.
dog.
Like I like liverwurst.
He does like liver.
I love
Yeah.
liverwurst and I love Braunschweiger, American Braunschweiger. Now, I've had liverwurst in Germany that's very good, and Leberwurst in Germany that was god awful. Just depends on the spices they add. So there are some pork things I do eat, but overall I don't like pork.
Barbecue spaghetti.
Well, you do baked spaghetti.
I do baked spaghetti, but we don't put barbecue sauce on it.
Pixie's hiding her food.
Nah.
She doesn't have to worry. I don't eat rabbit food. That's what I call anything they put on a burger that's not meat and cheese.
Right,
Lettuce, tomato, rabbit food.
right. All the healthy stuff.
All the healthy stuff, right.
Rabbits can have it. It's minced lamb.
Yeah, I
with
do.
tons of
I will
sauces.
eat lamb. I don't like lamb chops. But I like thin shaved lamb, like when they do it for kebabs and donors in Germany, donors that have lamb on them. I like
Yeah.
that.
I would like it, Randall.
What was the meat? Oh, sabapchichi. I've made sabapchichi where it was half beef, half lamb. No, we made the half beef, quarter lamb, quarter pork. The first time. Then we did it, the second time we did it just beef, and we did it as basically hackfleisch, where it was half beef, half
Right.
pork.
Oh man. Believe ya. Yeah.
But, so I am a very picky eater, annoyingly so. Joyce has found a way to feed me for 30-some years, and I found a way to eat without insulting her. But the best compliments was that when Joyce started cooking for me, I discovered some foods had taste, because my mom was from the South, and everything was fried, and it was fried deep. And I don't mean deep fried. My mom over-fried everything, because my dad liked everything well done. Don't ask me why. I didn't know steak had a flavor until Joyce made me a medium steak. I came to her family and they had steak and I was being polite to eat and I was like, this is good. I'm expecting it to taste like my mom's steak. Because my dad thought my mom was a great cook, but growing up, I thought my mom was a horrible cook. There's a couple of things. My mom could make baked goods well. My mom made awesome cakes and pies, cookies, and my mom made cornbread to murder for. My mom made amazing cornbread. But other than that, I did not like my mom's cooking. Everything was fried and too fried and overdone. Well, she also did grits. My mom made grits and I like grits.
Southern food.
Certain southern foods. Minted lamb chops. Damien, hi Damien. Damien says he likes his steak bloody and mooing. I don't like rare or medium rare. Medium is perfect.
Yeah, we
A bit of pink.
clearly made everyone hungry, I think, with the last.
Well, for us it is dinner time. So
Yeah,
we start
it's-
talking food, especially when you come down.
Yep.
Because I want a steak sandwich.
Okay, Marcos.
Yeah, let's do Marco's. Get a Marco's sub.
All right.
I got gypped up. Yeah, last week I got ripped off.
Yep.
Yeah, we're running Beethoven today.
Yeah, I saw that. We got the Rail Jet. We got a lot of red locos.
Yeah, a lot of red locos today.
But
Well,
Beethoven's-
but that's look over on the
Beethoven's not
shelves.
red.
Look over on the shelves.
Oh, I know.
They're all
Oh,
red.
that's your German.
It's German. It's Deutsche Bahn Verkehrsroad. I got a lot of
Yeah,
red locos.
what's
That's
your
why.
theme, though, because you got red and then you
My
got
theme was
blue.
running. Yeah, I never did mention the theme. The theme was running a lot of locos I had not run in a long time.
Yeah, okay.
That was the theme.
Gotcha.
Now, the Rail Jet hadn't run in a couple of weeks. But otherwise, it's a bunch of my locomotives. Like the Beethoven has not been run on a live stream in months. The Red 101 had not been run in a few weeks. The Class 147 pulling the double deckers had not been run in a while.
Yeah, okay. This is where you say Happy Halloween? We'll just see before Monday.
Okay, who's taking off? All right,
Edwin's.
take care, Edward. Happy Halloween for anybody who celebrates.
I don't know if I have enough candy.
Eh,
I'm not sure I care.
there's that too. You can always pick up more if you're worried about it. Well, but the thing is, I never liked bacon either. I just don't like pork. And then when I was a young guy, I read that pork is, of the meats, pork is the unhealthiest. And people can argue it. But yeah, I just developed. Now, I eat pork, sausage, breakfast sausage. And in Germany, all the sausage is pork. And I love German sausages. But pork chops and ham and bacon and any of those forms, I just do not like them.
Randall, did you get that for you or are you passing it out?
Some people prefer the German sausages. I prefer the Deutsche melons.
Super.
I had to cook for myself a lot as a kid, especially when my mom went into some of her really bad phases and stopped really just cooking for the family. So I would get up and I'm a good cook with what I cook. I'm having to learn to cook more things now that I've taken over cooking in the house.
Caramel apple suckers.
With retirement, I have to, I'm learning to cook. Like, I never made spaghetti. Well, I've made spaghetti before. But I don't make it enough to remember how long to cook the noodles, and I do prefer al
Read the
dente.
box.
Yeah, you read the box, but the box, I think the boxes are never accurate.
Oh, man. I think they're alright.
But the problem is there are meals I don't like, and Joyce puts them on the menu. It's like, why am I cooking something I don't like? And she will cook a few of those now.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
You got rocks wrapped up in candy wrappers.
Yeah, some people are just nuts.
It is. The Rail Jet is, it's in a class of its own.
I hate to nag, but
But
can we
I-
get at least 20 likes? Holy moly.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Came up here and then on the phone. That's Mark. Well, I'm just gonna buy it off Teesprings and see what colors.
Yeah.
But I want to buy
Yeah.
one that goes for the
Yeah,
Donegal
it
Railway.
definitely messes with your blood sugar.
I mean, there's a part of me that wants to buy everybody's T-shirts. But there are some that go to good clothes. You know, I've already got so many T-shirts. I've got too many. I don't have too many T-shirts. Some are still too small now. And then like that Miniature Wonderland shirt. What is it about them? You buy them once, you put them on, and the neck just gets all saggy neck.
Yeah, they got a
bad neck seam or something.
well, they're buying it from a cheap company.
Yeah, for Halloween we're passing out meatballs. Yeah, I used to love trick or treat when I was a kid because you got homemade fudge and a lot of homemade candies, and now of course you're not supposed to trust it.
What the
And
hell?
this is 100% true. That before the movie Halloween, where they start with the scene where somebody bit into candy, it had razor blades. There was no actual report of anything like that ever happening.
Oh, no.
And it became an urban myth, an urban legend. And then people started doing it. But it is absolutely true that there was no reported case of anything like that until the first Halloween movie in 1979 or whatever put it as a scene. There had been legends that people had done it, but there was no reported case of it until after the Halloween movie had a scene where it happened. And then people were finding it. But it's like people who find crap in their food. Half the time they're actually putting it in there to try to get a lawsuit. Hey, there's this crap in my, and they brought it in with them and threw it in just to say it's there because they think they can get a free meal out of it.
Well, there's that. We get a lot of kids in our neighborhood.
Oh, that brings up a bad
A lot
story,
of kids
Clive.
dropped off.
That brings up a bad story, Clive. He's got naga chili coated in chocolate. Now, I don't like chili. And in Germany, there's a type of ice cream that's called spaghetti ice. And it's called spaghetti ice not because it's flavored like spaghetti, but because it's made to look like spaghetti. Okay, it's very popular, it's very common. But they put the soft serve ice cream, they put it through an extruder to make it look like noodles. Then they put like a white whipped cream or sauce on top of it. And then they put strawberry or cherry or some sort of red berry sauce on top of that to make it look like spaghetti sauce. And it's very popular in Germany, and I'm sure other countries as well. I only know it in Germany. So one day we're in Munich, and we go in and they're advertising spaghetti ice, and right below spaghetti ice they have chili chocolate ice cream. So I'm wondering, and I'm looking at it, so I'm assuming they're calling it chili chocolate because the ice cream looks a little like chocolate ice cream, and then the nuts are supposed to look like beans, and the meat's supposed to, or the chocolate chunk. That's what I'm thinking. Until I bit into it, and it was chocolate ice cream with chili flavoring. Oh my God, I couldn't puke that up fast enough.
Yeah. And he offered it to all the students.
Well, they laughed at me for my reaction.
Yeah.
So I was like, you try it. They were all laughing at me because I was the only one who tried it. And they were laughing at me, so I handed it to them and said, you eat it. And they're like, Mr. Dodge, look at you reacted. It can't be that bad.
Yes, again.
Oh my God, that's awful! And it went around. Everybody did it, so I got to laugh back at all my students except the last two were like, no, we've seen the reactions, we're good. But it was so bad.
It was another bonding moment.
But it was a good bonding moment with the students. They're all laughing together. They're laughing at their teacher for his reaction to this horrid tasting ice cream. It can't be that bad.
That's what we figured. We could walk the kids pretty far as long as we fed
Ice
them.
cream at the end.
Had
Ice
an
cream at the end.
break, and they felt good, and we could walk the rest of the way back to the subway.
Those kids would walk forever because after the first long walk, and Joyce would always usually play the good person. She'd be like, oh, Mr. Dodge, we've walked these kids so far. They need a break, and there's an ice cream shop over there. The kids are like, ice cream, yes.
Ice cream?
Because they've had ice cream in
They're
Germany
not
by the
too
time
old
we've gone with
anyway,
them.
yeah.
I mean, A, they like ice cream anyhow, but B, they've had Italian ice.
Leslie, we understand. Having had other chocolate.
Now, that's one where, yes, European chocolate does taste better,
Much better.
but American chocolate's still good.
We are used to American chocolate, so it's fine. But we can understand if you were used to German, I shouldn't say German, if you're used to European chocolate, you would not care for Hershey's. Only works because of our end.
Yeah. Well, in Germany, they didn't do Halloween, but it's slowly growing where they're doing it the American style.
Yeah.
And the American way has changed many times over the years. But, and again, now it's
That much
very,
different it was when I was a kid.
it's very regimented. We used to be out for hours and come home with a pillowcase, big pillowcase filled with candy. Now there's a limited
It was always
amount.
2 hours. I don't remember it being more than 2.
Oh no, we were out 3 hours easily.
I don't know what you were
And then
doing.
you went back to houses that gave certain candy, or as a boy, there were houses that gave out baseball cards, packs of baseball and football cards. I went to those houses 3 or 4 times. I love that, man. Because I like chocolate, but I don't like candy. I don't eat a lot of candy. Occasionally a mint, but otherwise I don't eat candy. Chocolate, and I know it's still candy, but I don't like candies. I like Skittles or Now and Laters and stuff like that.
And the Dove chocolate is definitely a step above the regular chocolate. It's tastier. What do I
Well,
normally get?
what do we like? We like Ritter,
Yeah, we like
but we also
the-
like Lint from Austria,
Yeah.
Toblerone. But we
Never
love
had
Ritter.
Mhm.
Ritter makes so many amazing chocolates,
They do.
and they're not even the high end.
Yeah,
Ritter's
it's
just
not.
Ritter is like a German
It's-
Nestle's or
right. Yeah, it is.
Hershey's.
Yep.
But man, they make great. Their chocolate mousse or their dark chocolate with walnut. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, we're quite the fan of the chocolate mousse.
You like a caramel apple? See, I don't like caramel.
I do.
Yeah.
I like licorice too.
Ritter is your favorite? All right, so we got another one on our side. Yeah. We will order, in fact, we just did last
Yeah.
month. Every
Yeah, wasn't it
Every
2
now and
months?
then we'll order a big box of Ritters from a distributor. Actually, it comes from the UK.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
The distributor
Uh,
is a UK
right.
company.
But yeah, we'll order it and it lasts us a while.
It lasts us.
Not as long as it should, but it lasts us a while.
See, and Efo likes licorice. And again, see,
Yeah, see, I like licorice.
see, I'm such an oddball. I have very limited things I eat. It's amazing I got as big as I did because what I
You
like
think
is
so?
bad.
You think so?
Doubles, yeah. Well, it's
Double
double
what?
whatever. Yeah,
That
well,
is,
it's
yeah.
Dutch, and my Dutch is not.
Because it's Dutch, right? That's what they
I
like
try
it.
to think what it is in
So
German.
double what, Efo? Probably, Artie.
Yeah, sugar
Sure,
daddies.
yeah.
I wasn't big
That's
on
all-
those as a kid.
Well, because it was caramel.
Hard caramel too.
It was. Yeah.
But
they
they-
are. They still are.
Yeah, they're still around. They're very hard to find, but they're still around.
Cornflakes.
Yeah, that's not a bad one, Damien.
Yeah.
That's sort of like a Nestle's Crunch, except it's a cornflake instead of rice.
Right.
But but the Ritter with the
Double
chocolate
salted
mousse,
licorice. Oh, okay.
the Ritter Neapolitan Ritter, that's a good one. Ritter cookies and cream.
I don't know what I think of that. I don't think chocolate and licorice.
Oh
go
my
together.
God, we love going into a store where they have
We're still
when we're
talking
in
about
Germany.
food.
Yeah, when we're in Germany and we go into one of the shops where they have lots of Ritter on display. We sit there like, what about that one? What about
every
that
now
one? What
and then
about
I
that
got
one?
one of their little sample packs. You got this 4-cube.
Well, hello to the
Okay.
UK loco lady.
I have been with
Your
those.
name has been here before, but we haven't knighted you.
Oh,
Or we have, but it got Let's knight you. I'm now declare you a knight of the round boy table. So, Loco Layton, welcome in. And please feel free to post a link to your channel if you have a channel that you have videos and you want to get subscribers. We don't have a lot of people in here right now, but...
It's pretty bitter. 9%.
Okay. Double salted. Salt is... Okay, double salt. Gotcha. Salted.
Yeah.
Salt is...
Okay, it says it's licorice.
Salt is salt. Okay.
Yep.
I can linguistically now match it up and go,
that
yeah,
makes
okay,
sense.
that works.
Yeah, it does.
Lindor. I like Ferrero Rochers.
The hazelnut.
Ferrero Rochers, those are good.
Hazelnut and the...
That's Belgian.
it's Belgian.
But that's the hazelnut and chocolate. Ferrero Rochers are good.
Oh, they're fun things.
Your
And
desktop
I'm
computer.
nagging again, guys. Let's get to 20 on these likes, please.
Yeah,
I
not
usually
even-
want 30. What the heck? You're coming in and not doing anything. Oh, that's on the accusatory. I should go maybe order them. 10 up, almost.
Yeah, I like Lint, although there's one type of Lint I don't like because of the flavoring, you know, what they mix with the chocolate.
Right.
Because again, I'm a very annoying picky eater, and I'm a very purist. I
Yes,
don't
he
like
is.
a lot of mixed things. Hey, Dale! How are you?
How ball and hog. Almost
Yep, it
midnight,
is almost
indeed.
midnight there. Although
Yep.
next week we go back. Our clocks go back, so I will be an hour earlier to those of you. Well, when does Europe change?
I was gonna say
Because I thought the UK changed.
they're close to us, but not the same. I thought. The Morse.
Oh, we got a South Park reference there.
Yeah.
Okay, we changed Sunday morning too.
You do?
Yeah. Sunday, we go back Sunday.
I thought it was like the weekend in November.
I swear I was seeing the news saying, don't forget, we go back an hour.
Oh,
All right, we'll
let's
double check it. Maybe
Google
we're off a
that,
week.
Yeah. Let's check my calendar.
But I thought it was this weekend.
It's my calendar. Okay. So that doesn't say the time change. So now we'll just Google it. And
What are you going to do as a question?
yeah.
Oh,
March
Sunday, no.
13th.
Okay, we don't change this week. We change next week. My apologies. We're
yeah,
off.
November 6th. Yeah.
Yep,
It's,
we're November 6th. Yep.
Yeah, because we used to change before Halloween, and that meant the kids were in the dark the entire time. But years ago, somebody decided it would be better to wait a week, and
It really is time to just get rid of daylight savings time.
yeah, and
It's an archaic thing. It's not needed. It's sort of like the
I
American
say
Electoral
it's
College.
ending,
Time to get
isn't
rid of
it?
it. Yeah, Joyce was on top of it. I wasn't. I was just hearing Americans talking. I thought I heard them saying it was this weekend.
yeah, I think we go back to standard time. We're on daylight savings time now.
Right, we go back to
Yeah.
standard.
There is a lot of
But we go
of
back, yeah.
yeah, we do.
Daylight saving time ends next weekend for us.
There
so
is
we're
a
a week behind
lot of
everybody.
people who would like to abolish the change.
So that's what we're just saying, Artie. We go back next week Sunday.
Yeah. So we gained an hour of sleep. Woohoo!
Means nothing to me now.
Indeed, it does. Don't tend to get up at any time anyway, but yeah, Greenwich Mean Time indeed.
Extra hour in the pub.
Yeah.
1:59, closing time's at 2. Up it's 12:59.
159.
No, it's 1:59.
Yeah, I'm with you now. Okay,
and
never
to
mind,
go
never mind,
back
never
an
mind.
hour.
I got it.
Sure you do.
Sure I do. Let me go order dinner.
Spring ahead, fall back. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start shutting down here.
Yep. Right.
Nobody's singing
Yeah, I
Kenny's Yellow
figure
Love
with
tonight.
the days getting shorter, it's nice to sleep a little longer.
Come on, get up, Bill, get up, Bill, get up, Bill. Oh, I just shut that one down. Get around the hill before I shut it down.
All right, you guys don't change already?
Yeah, I thought they already changed.
You already did, okay.
But again, I've been wrong. and
I don't know. There's a lot of things that say it's the farmers, and I'm not sure it is. Do you have any trains on this one? Oh, there it is.
I just have the directional.
Light on.
Yep, lights
it?
off, and then the little diesel guy going.
Oh, behind me. He's on, but it's not going.
Oh, did he stop again? Did he derail?
I don't think so.
Huh. Just hit a bad spot. All right. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night tonight.
Come on, that's a 20.
I want to thank the few, the proud, the rhomboid that came in tonight and joined us. And we will see you next Friday night, same bat time, same bat channel. So until then, on behalf of Joyce and myself, we're going to say
Auf Wiedersehen.
Choo-CHoos and happy trains. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
See you next week.